Hey guys, so in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how I create green screens using just my iPhone. Now this tutorial is going to be done all on my phone, and the app that I'm going to be using is called Keynote, and that's the only app you're going to need. Keynote is Apple's PowerPoint presentation app. It is totally free. I think it's actually a default on your phone. But here you can see the green screen that I created just to show you guys for reference. So the subscribe button comes in, does a few tricks, and it goes out. So that's the basic gist of what we're going to be doing in today's video, and it's actually really simple and easy to use. Now I do want to say it's better to do this in a landscape mode. Like you can see, my phone is set on landscape, not portrait. The reason for that is because it's quite a small surface area to work on in Keynote, especially with this small presentation size. You'll see what I mean when you get into the app. So it is just quite a small space to work on. So I do recommend putting your phone landscape. It just saves a lot of time and effort when you have a bigger surface area to work on. But anyway, so let's enter into Keynote and we can see everything that we can do, and we can just start this tutorial. So here you can see I'm in Keynote, and this is all my presentations. You want to create a new presentation by clicking on the plus icon, and here you can see I have two types of presentation, standard and wide. You want to go to wide, and then you want to select any presentation. Doesn't actually really matter. I'm just going to click on this black one, and then you want to delete all of the text because we don't want that on our green screen. So you basically just tap on the text and then you can click on delete. You can do that with the other one as well, and then you want to change the color by clicking on that paintbrush, and you want to go to appearance, and then you want to make the background a green color. I recommend using this green just because it is the closest to a green screen kind of green. So yeah, this is, I think, in my opinion, the best green to use for this. But yeah, then click on that arrow down to get out of that menu, and then you see you have your background for your green screen. Now what you want to do is you want to go into Safari, and you want to search the subscribe button PNG. So you can see they have a bunch here, but you want to take an image which has this background that is kind of all blocks, which means it doesn't have a background actually. So then just long press on the subscribe button and click on save image, and then go back into Keynote, and then select the plus button in the top right, and once you've done that you can go to photos or video. Okay, so I have my subscribe button here, and you can move it around by pinching with your fingers or expanding with your fingers, rotating with two fingers. You can just play around with it like this, and I recommend putting it in the bottom of your video because the app iMovie that is on Apple has now the ability to use green screens, but you cannot move the green screen, so it really sucks. So you don't want a green screen in the middle of your video covering up your entire face. That would just be very annoying. So I recommend putting the green screen in the bottom because then it won't be all in your video, and then you can just have it there in the bottom. So yeah, I recommend just putting the subscribe button there, but obviously it's your preference. It depends on what you're using the green screen for. But yeah, so what you want to do now is you want to click on the subscribe button and you want to click on animate, and then we're going to start actually creating our green screen. As you can see, you have three things here at the bottom. You have add build in, add action, and add build out. So the add build in is for the in animation, how the subscribe button enters into the green screen. The action is what happens, so it doesn't move around, does it rotate a bit, and then the build out is how it exits the green screen. So that's what those three things at the bottom are. And for add build in, the effect I'm going to be using is called move in, but they have other as well, but I'm just going to show you guys with this one. So I'm going to play this so you guys can see what it looks like by clicking on the play button at the top right. There you can see it, and this is what it looks like. But because this is a PowerPoint, I had to tap on the screen in order for the transition to happen. To change that, you want to click on move in, and you have a bunch of things to change. You can change the duration of how long it takes for it to move in, if it has to come in from left to right or right to left, if it has to bounce in or not. And then you have start, which is on tap. The reason you want to change this is, like I said, this is a PowerPoint presentation. So usually if you're working on a PowerPoint, you have to click and then the next slide will appear. It's the same thing with all these animations. You have to click in order for the animation to happen. But you don't want that if you're going to export this as a movie. You want to set it to after transition. You'll see we're going to do this with each animation that we add, so that it doesn't require a tap to happen, it just happens automatically. Now that we have our build in, now we're going to add an action. I'm going to choose the create path one, but you guys can play around with all these settings. But the create path one is to move the subscribe button from one point to another. You can select if it has to just move in a weird line or just like a straight line. I selected the straight line, and you just drag it to the point and then you'll see it's there. And then if you're happy, you click on done, and then you click on that plus button to add another action. So maybe you want to rotate it. So I just rotated a bit, and then I also moved it towards this point here. And now you can see you have three things here at the bottom. You have the motion path, which is when it came in from there. Then you have the rotate, which made it rotate like that, and then the motion path, which made it move towards this point. So that's what each of these do. And then I'm going to add another rotate, and I'm just going to select how it must rotate. So I'm going to make it like so. And then I'm going to move it again. And then another motion path is added. So I hope you guys understand each one of these things at the bottom actually have a reason for being there. And then you can also add a build out, which I'm just going to make move out. It's basically the same as the move in one, but just out. And you can also select left to right or right to left. It actually can go to multiple places, so it can move out top to bottom, things like that. But I'm just gonna go from right to left. So yeah, here we have all our actions so far, our animations. And as you can see, we have multiple animations here in this one. Like I showed you guys, the motion, then the rotate, then the motion, and then the rotate. And you want to select each one starts as something else. So like I explained to you guys before, it's on tap now, but you want to change that to after build 1. So that's gonna happen after it moves in. Now the next one you want to create after build 2. So you just continue to do this with each one so it happens automatically. You can say with build 3 or after build 3. You can play around with these settings as well. It just means it will happen while it moves, or it will rotate after it has moved. I think I'm gonna create after build 3. This is the rotation one, if you didn't know. I hope this makes sense. I'm very sorry if it's kind of confusing you, but if you do this on your own, you'll see what I mean with how it works. Then we have again after build 4, and then we have after build 5 or with build 5. I just left it with build 5 so you guys can see a little variation. So here you can see we have build 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 here, I think. And then the first move in was build 1, and the last one is build 7, I believe. I hope this makes sense. I think it's best if you just try this yourself and maybe work with me. That's gonna make you understand a bit more. And now we're also just gonna change the move out one to after build 6. So this basically means every single one of our actions happens after or with the other one. It doesn't require a tap to happen. Like a normal PowerPoint. So let's just preview it and see how it looks so far. So we preview it by clicking on that play button in the top right again, and then we'll see how it looks and if we have our desired look. So it comes in, it moves, it turns again, and then it does a kind of a 360, and then it moves out again. Now I don't want that total 360 spin, I just want it to kind of tilt a bit. So we're gonna edit that by clicking on animate again, and we're gonna go to multiple, and you can see it's the one rotation that went kind of weird. It went all 360. As you can see, the angle is 340 degrees, but I don't want that. I want it to move a little less, so you play around with this until it doesn't move 360. It's only like maybe 34 degrees, as you can see here, and now it's on 18 degrees, and then you can also then play around with it. Like if it has to go full circle, you can do that with 360 degrees. Just play around with all these degrees on the way you want it to rotate. So here you can see this is the angle that it's going for right now. And you can say if it has to go clockwise or anti-clockwise. You'll see later I'm going to change this. But so let's just preview this and see what it looks like so far by clicking on the play button now. And then you'll see it comes in, it moves, and then it rotates down again, which I don't like. I want it to go left, not right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set it to a different angle. So here you can see nothing that I do is gonna make it actually turn the way I want to without it going full 360 around. So what I want to do is click on anti-clockwise and then adjust the angle to where you want it to be. So I want it to go like this, and then it's not gonna go in full circle, it's just gonna go down like this. I hope you guys understand what I mean. So yeah, that's basically what I played around with to get my desired rotation, because it takes a lot of just experimenting with different things. Here you can see I have my desired look now, and then it just exits my screen. So that's basically what my green screen looks like. I hope you guys understand what I just did and why I edited it to go anti-clockwise and not clockwise, and why it went 360 when it went clockwise. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions in the comments down below. But yeah, if you're happy with your green screen, what you want to do is you want to click on three dots and click on export. Then you want to select movie. Now you can select the resolution. They have all kinds of sizes. You can also adjust the amount of seconds it takes to get after to the next build or the next slide. We don't really have to worry about the go to the next build really or anything, because we set our builds to happen after the other, if you understand what I mean. So this is just if you're exporting it as a movie and it was on tap. So if it was on tap, it would happen after 1 second and not directly after, if you understand what I mean. But yeah, we don't have to worry about that because we don't have any on tap things. Then you want to click on export, and then it will start exporting it, and then you want to save video. Okay, so let's go to our photo library and see what our video looks like. So here we are in our photo library. You can see the subscribe button, green screen going in, moving, rotating, everything, and then it goes out just like a normal green screen. Now let me show you guys how to edit this using iMovie. So we're gonna create a new project, and I'm just gonna add a random video. It doesn't really matter which one I'm gonna be using right now. This is just a video of a clip that I had in my previous video. So this is just a clip from that, and here you can see the video and whatnot. So we're gonna put the green screen over this video. The way we do this is by clicking on the plus button there, and then you want to select your green screen. So just do that, and then you want to click on the three dots, and you want to select green/blue screen. And once you've done that, you'll see you have your subscribe button here. It comes in, it moves around like we created it to. And what do you want to do if you're not happy with how the subscribe button looks, if it doesn't look very clear? You want to select this toggle here once you've selected your video clip, and then you want to strengthen it or weaken it depending on what it needs. So here you can see it looks kind of grainy when it's not full strength, or it kind of looks like it has this white mesh over the video, but when it is full strength, it doesn't have that. I'm gonna quickly adjust it again so you can see it's a little whitish, and when I strengthen it, it has that away. So that's what you want to do to edit your green screen in iMovie to have your desired look. You can also crop your subscribe button green screen. It's not really necessary for our case, but you can do that as well. So yeah, this is how you create or use your green screen in iMovie. Now I'm going to be showing you guys real quick how to play around with sound effects when using a green screen. Now you can use basically any sound effects that you want, but I'm just for the sake of this video gonna use iMovie's sound effects. They don't have all the sound effects that are really cool, but they do have some. But I just want to show you guys the basics of how to edit green screens with sound effects to make it sound good. So I'm gonna go into the sound effects area of iMovie, and I'm gonna choose one that I think works best for my green screen. And usually we're gonna have to use multiple, but the goal fit one is always really good. Now I'm gonna move this sound effect to the place where my green screen comes in to see how it sounds, but I wasn't really happy with how it sounded. Then I just moved it again until I found my desired spot for it, and I found it worked best on the place where it stops. When it comes in and it stops, that's when it sounded best. Now you want to find another sound effect and see how it sounds for maybe the rotation part of your green screen. I found that the data sound effect worked best for the rotation part of my green screen. So every time my green screen kind of rotated to one point, the data sound effect would come up, and every time the green screen, like the subscribe button, moved from one point to another, I used the golf hit. So I'll show you guys now what the final product was. But I think the main key is every time something takes place, so every time it moves from one point to another, every time it rotates, I think that's a good place to use a specific sound effect. Now, I don't say the sound effect that I used were the best for this type of green screen, but I just used some that were already in the iMovie library. But you can use your own sound effects as well. Okay, so let's see what the finished product looks like with all our sound effects. Again, disclaimer, not the best sound effects. I would never use this personally for my green screens, but this is just an example. I did do a video on how to import sound effects and music into iMovie, so custom your own things that you want to use. I'll have that linked in the eye up top, as well as the video of me explaining how to use green screens on iMovie, so you guys can go check that out by clicking on the eye up top. So I think that would really help you guys, but the main gist is just set the sound effects everywhere where something takes place and action happens. That's the best thing to do. So yeah, I hope this helped you guys and kind of gave you an insight of how to use your sound effects with your green screens and how to use the green screens, and I just hope it helps you make your green screen. That's the main point of this video. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below if this video helped you and if you could get something from it and learn something from it. Let me know in the comments down below also if you have any questions of things that you're maybe curious about or didn't understand the video. Definitely leave a comment down below asking me that. And definitely subscribe by clicking on the icon on the screen. Click on the playlist to see all of my other YouTube tips and tricks related videos. So it's other tutorials and things like this. And click on the video to my previously uploaded video. Love you guys so much. Be weird and be proud of it. Bye.